Hello, everybody. Today I am here. It's currently very late, and I am recording this final set of levels for Dr. Mario World, and I decided to just try it one more time tonight, and it ended up being the last 3 levels that I had to do. So, let's go into it. I stayed up to watch WandaVision when it came out. For me, it's 2 a.m. Some people it's for midnight. And I watched that. And then I stayed up and did this, and now I'm done with it, and now it's almost 4 a.m. So, luckily I don't have any classes or anything in the morning. So the beginning of this first part here, it gives you what you need, and you just get to kind of watch this all play out, and then everything opens up here. And what you see is 16 floating viruses all around the stage. This was my first try, but it gets very close, and you'll see at the end just how close it actually gets. And the recommendation here is to make sure to hit something when it's near some blocks, because you want to get rid of those blocks whenever you can. Some bombs are going to be spawning in, and for the most part they should be helpful, but in my case there were some times where it got in my way, so keep that in mind. And for the most part, things seem to line up very well for me. Honestly, kind of surprising, but it really did often seem like it was in my favor. And I tried to get a red and green for this one section up here, and I just was not able to get it. So I use this double green here to get rid of all those, and then we can get this red line taken care of as well, because none of them had hit at all. But I also have very few reds compared to everything else, so keep that in mind as well. And I'm just trying to look at what I have left. This bottom corner is kind of unfortunate because there's not a great way to clear those, so I might as well just hit the bomb. I guess I could have done it in a T shape, and then it would have cleared out all of the things down there, but it's too late for that now. And this one block on the right side is really going to be almost the death of me here. I guess I should have gone for it earlier, but I just didn't think it would be that big of a problem. But as we get into the later end of the level, you'll see just how much of a problem it was. Now I only have 3 more viruses remaining, and now it is down to 2. And the green one has 2 hits, the red one just has 1. So now I start to think, how am I going to complete this? We literally have 1 more block. You'd think this should be easy, there's no way he's going to fail this. Well, that almost wasn't the case. And now, as we bring these blues over, a bunch of bombs spawn next to it, and just really messed me up because there's no way for me to hit a bomb and hit that block. And the only bomb next to it was green, which I accidentally just destroyed. So now I have this random green one sitting here, which is in my way of just placing a blue one and doing it that way. So now I try to build the blues up from the bottom. Luckily I have a green ready to go, and with that 1 red capsule I'm able to bring another blue down there. And also luckily a bomb didn't spawn in my way. So there's a lot going against me there, and I just barely made it through. But man, you can definitely tell it was a first try kind of thing. And moving to the next one, we actually had to bring in Wendy for this. I don't think I played... Oh, I think I tried it with Wendy twice. So it didn't take too long, and right away, the first time I played it, I realized this is a Wendy stage. I should probably just bring in Wendy, and it does seem to be the best thing to do. And also, after my 3 rounds of playing, I found the best strategies for this. So you're going to want to get the purple coins right away. A thing to note is that there's a kind of a section in the middle where there are still cage coins, but if you continue your way over to the left, there are some more coins unlocked that you need to get before the other ones are uncaged. So make sure to go for those, and leave some viruses around the cage coins while you can, so you can use them later. And a lot of the rest of the level here is going to be bringing down 3 capsules into the bottom section here. Preferably, if you get a double capsule, you can use that, or you're going to have to split up some capsules, or just place all 3 and live with the fact that you wasted a capsule or 2. And just keep going. I got in a pretty good rhythm here. It was giving me a lot of doubles. And when you bring in Wendy also, just do not worry about any of the blocks. Let Wendy clear as many blocks as she can, and then when you get to the end, you will almost definitely have like 1 or 2 blocks left over. And at that point, then you start worrying about the blocks. You know, I don't need blues anymore since there's only green and red viruses remaining, so I'm thinking, okay, which blocks am I going to have left over? And I need to bring every blue I get into those sections. And also making sure I have enough green for the final 2 viruses here. Using the blue I have here, and luckily getting a double green for my final one. We barely get that one as well. I'm realizing just how close I was to failing some of these levels. Oh my gosh. Ending 0 2 times in a row is not ideal, but you can see maybe Wendy isn't the best one for that, but she definitely works. And if you brought in someone like King Boo as an assistant, I bet it would be even easier if you got him to trigger. And speaking of King Boo, wait, I can't remember if King Boo is in here for this one, but I'm pretty sure he is. And I think that's a strategy we use for this one. Like I said, it's 4 in the morning. I'm pretty tired, but this one is really rough. And I brought in Ludwig. It wasn't even suggested. I just think that there's so much ice stuff involved that you're going to want to do that. Now, what's really annoying is these coins. They're placed in such weird places, and it's so hard for me to even describe to you how to get to each coin. I would suggest just watching what I do, because when I try to explain it here, it's going to be very confusing. So, there are a few viruses that aren't ice at all. Clear those at your leisure, or whenever you're getting a double capsule, like 2 of the same color, because you're going to need those for the iced ones. And you'll see me use them a few times. And the top row of coins you can get whenever you want, because they're available to you whenever. And then you can use some of those viruses to break up some capsules sometimes, which I think I just did there. And now I'm realizing I don't need reds right now, because you can see no reds are touching a virus, so I put that up there to save for later once the cage coins are opened up. We just have this 1 coin down here, so we need to break the blues next to the green, and then break that green, which will then hit that final coin, and all the coins are unlocked. Like I said, I didn't explain it very well at all. I barely even explained it, so please watch the video. Try to understand what I'm doing if you're having a hard time with this one. This one took quite a while for me to beat. And like I said, I had to bring in King Boo to do it. And now at this part, you need to be very smart with the capsules you use. If you get some rainbow capsules, make sure to use them in places that will hit multiple viruses. If you can, of course. Or you can use them to wedge in between coins, which is important as well. Do not forget about the final coins, because if you do, you're gonna lose. It's just how it's gonna work. And there, King Boo triggered, and you can see me like pause for a second. I'm like, okay, I need to make this round count. King Boo has triggered. That doesn't always happen, and I need it to bring me to victory this time. So I do kind of a weird strategy here, lining up the blues so I can clear that in the middle, allowing me to get the greens a little bit easier. And now I can get rid of that green that I placed there, using it to hit this coin at the bottom, which I guess doesn't really matter because I have the blue down here anyways. Now I'm debating using Ludwig's skill. I use it, and I did what I wanted him to do. I wanted him to get rid of one of the blues, so I could ensure that I didn't run out of blue or anything. And with 2 capsules remaining, getting King Boo's ability, we were able to get 3 stars. And I think I got 31,000 once, and it just was barely not enough. So a little over 31,000 is the way to go. So keep that in mind when you're tallying up your points, what you're going to end with. I really do think King Boo is the way to go for that one. And I don't know if Ludwig is the best one for that one. Probably not. Honestly, Wario might be the better one for it. I have no idea. But it worked with Ludwig. So hopefully my strategy is able to help you out at least a little bit. And this one, I think, was the only one of the set that I actually beat on my first try. Just randomly throwing stuff down and hoping it works, and it did. And what my strategy was, I guess, was to get down to this lock right away so that the shells can do most of the work. And I'm guessing these colors are random, so it just kind of worked out. And also the colors it gave me was pretty good as well. Getting down into this red section, we do get a double red, which is very nice. And we were able to get rid of that green, get that out of there, which if I had it wedged in there, would not have been good. But now the shells hit everything. Some bombs blow up. I get Wario skill a couple of times, which is great, of course, to get Wario skill a few times. And now we're left with a few crates, a lot of keys and doors, and a few viruses. And it might look like there's not a lot on here, but trust me, you're going to be cutting it pretty close. And what you're doing now, I'd say get the viruses at your leisure, whenever it's convenient for you, but probably focus on the crates. What you're doing is just clearing out each column of crates as you go, allowing the keys to fall down to the doors, and then moving on to the next column. There's pretty much like one crate per column, so it's pretty tedious and you're going to end up wasting a lot of capsules. Make sure you, like here, I'm going to use this little bit I already had built up to work on the next section. And what you can do at this point, because I'm clearly getting very low on capsules, is use some of the capsules we have already set up to bring over to the final side. So we're going to destroy this section we have here using the blues to get rid of this side, and now we can use reds on the final side. And we did end up with 4 capsules, actually 3 capsules, because I ended up just using one to push the key in a little bit faster. So thanks to Wario's skill, 1 extra time. We didn't end with 0 capsules, but it was definitely getting close. Now we move on to the final normal stage, and I am bringing in my regular setup, point boosting assistance, and Wario. And this one I think is kind of fun. You start out just clearing the virus in the middle, and then hitting the viruses on the outer sides, which clears the colored crates immediately, which is really just kind of satisfying. And then once you get down to this section, it's a little bit more tricky. You're going to need some single capsules to get in between the floating viruses. And there is a set of red, green, and blue, so if you get any single capsules, I'd recommend waiting until those are available to you. And also make sure the stage scrolls completely so you can get rid of any colored crates or hit any blocks that you can while you're there, because otherwise you'll have to come back to it later. Now here I would have loved to get a blue and green before I placed that red and green. And now I would love to get a rainbow capsule, but it's just not going to happen soon enough. So I kind of end up just getting rid of that section. If I could have put a rainbow capsule there, it would save me a bunch of capsules and would have been a really smart play. But I wasn't able to do it, so instead we just use a couple more capsules to get in between here. We really just want to hit all these blues at the same time. They lined up very nicely for me. I also happened to clear the green as I was there, and also hit one of the blocks an extra time, just in case I needed to. And we're getting down to the very bottom of the stage now. What you're going to want to keep in mind is, I believe on the right side, there will always be 3 blue viruses on top of a blue colored crate, which makes it very easy to clear and get to the bomb. But on the right side, it doesn't seem like there's ever going to be some reds lined up for you, so you probably have to place 3 red capsules to get in there. Alternatively, you could go through the bottom, but I don't think I'd recommend that. Well, actually, in my case, I should have gone through the bottom, because if I get rid of these reds here, I place some greens next to that green virus I'd have to clear anyways, and then the green crate is gone. I just need a double green in between. So I really should have done that. But it works out anyways, so it wasn't too big of a deal. I also make sure to get rid of this blue crate while I'm there, because that is necessary to complete the level. Now we're able to wedge some greens into the green bomb. and we clear this final green virus. There's one crate on this side, one block that still needs to be cleared. So we bring that green over and clear that one. And now one of these crates needs an extra hit, and the other one is just about done. So line these reds up, we bring down some blues, and of course, I got pretty lucky with that other, the ones next to the red needing to be broken. So I don't think it would have mattered anyways because we did have 4 capsules remaining. But I did try that one a time before and it didn't work out. So I don't really know. I guess kind of the ending section is where you're going to get lucky. Or unlucky. And some of these levels were kind of tough, but certainly not as tough as some have been in the past. So really, all in all, I don't think it was too challenging of a section. There are definitely challenging parts, but not as challenging as it has been in the past. And now going into this one, this is my first try as Kamek. I tried it with Wario and just did not seem like it was going anywhere. I think I had like 10 viruses remaining and some of them were floating viruses. The thing about Kamek is if he hits a floating virus, it gets rid of all 3 of their hits, which is insane and insanely good. So you really need that to happen, and it did work out very nicely for me. And this is another one of those levels where you just follow the line of coins. I've already cleared quite a lot of them, but I would suggest for the most part at the beginning here just clearing all of the coins out. So find the line, try not to interfere with the bubblers or fans all too much if possible, but also don't forget about those floating viruses, because if you clear everything other than the floating viruses, that's going to be a lot of work towards the end. And who knows, you might destroy some of the floating viruses and they will go to sections you want it to go to. There's really no way of knowing, I guess, unless you do it. Now, unfortunately here, Kamek got rid of one of those pinks for me, which normally would be just another way to clear out these coins a lot easier. When I played as Wario, obviously it worked out a lot better, but with Kamek, you know, it's never really going to work out. Now at this point here, you're going to want to start implementing a strategy, especially if you're bringing in Kamek. Keep in mind what has the most on stage right now. For me, I believe it is tied for blue and yellow, so there's a chance for either of them to clear. Oh, never mind. Now I believe blue has the most, which is really good because that means it's going to get rid of the floating viruses that I don't want. Now at this point, I need to consider what do I want it to clear and work on the other. So I go for pinks, and just getting a few points by clearing the yellows as well, because I need points to get Kamek's skill one more time. And then every chance we get, we're going for this pink. If we get rainbow capsules, bring it to the pink. Because that's what we decide to focus on. Once you get rid of the pink, you just need to get his skill one last time. And it doesn't matter if it's iced or bubbled at this point. He will clear it no matter what. So just getting a few points by clearing those 2 yellows lined up, I was able to get enough to get those cleared. So really, if you bring in Kamek, there's some good strategies you need to implement, so keep that in mind. I really do think Kamek is really good for that one. So if you have them, try them, bring them in. Anyways, that's all for this set of levels. I will see you next week for the Skill Summit. Goodbye.